Sara Deals with a Bully by Annie Lifstead and Catherine Gatsaridze. It's Sarah's first day at her new school. She is nervous but excited. Sara finds her classroom and walks in to be welcomed by her new teacher.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Crombus. You must be Sara.
Mrs. Crombus exclaims.
Yes.
Sara replies nervously.
Let me show you to your seat.
Mrs. Crombus says, motioning to her and her new seat. Mrs. Crombus walks Sara over to her new seat in the middle of the classroom next to a girl named Regina.
Regina, say hi,
says Mrs. Crombus. Hi, Regina says in an unexcited tone.
Let's go read a book on the rug,
exclaims the teacher. All the kids rush to the rug and the teacher starts reading the story to the class. Meanwhile, Regina and her friends start pulling on Sara's hair and making fun of it. Why is your hair so weird? You're a freak, they say. Sara remained quiet and hoped the bullying would stop. Sara cried all the way home from school. When she entered her house, her mother asked,
"What's wrong?" "Nothing!"
Sara screamed and ran up to her room. Regina and her friends approached Sara during recess the next day. Do you want to play with us? Regina asked with a smirk on her face.
Sure,
Sara said excitedly, hoping the bullying was over. No, you can't, screamed Regina and pushed Sara to the ground. Sara runs to the staircase in the school once again, crying over her hurt feelings. After school, Sara walks home crying once again due to the bullying from her fellow classmates. Again, her mother asks what's wrong, and once again, Sara won't tell her. Sara's mother, upset over Sara's newfound sadness, sits in the kitchen, drinking her special juice, contemplating what could be wrong. She thinks and thinks, but nothing comes to mind. She decides to leave it alone for now and go to bed. The next day, Sara tries to hide herself by wearing a dark hoodie in hopes that no one would talk to her, including her bully. But the hoodie didn't help. Regina and her friends found Sara and continued to bully her. You look so stupid, yelled Regina as her friends laughed. Do you think you're cool? Regina's friend yelled. Regina and her friends start to surround Sara so she cannot leave. As they close in on her, they begin to push her around until finally she falls and hurts her arm.
Ow!
Yells Sara, clutching her now broken arm. Oh my God, let's get out of here, yells one of Regina's friends. They all scatter until Sara is left on the ground alone in pain, later to be found by a teacher and sent to the hospital. Sara sits in the hospital and her mother comes rushing in.
I heard you broke your arm. What happened?
Asks Sara's mother before she can even get in the door.
It's nothing, Mother. Don't worry.
Sara says, still afraid to tell her mother of the bullying.
I know something has been wrong. You can tell me anything, Sara. I love you.
Sara finally realizes it's time to tell her mother what's been going on.
Mom, I've been getting bullied,
Sara says and looks down in shame.
Bullied? Really?
Asks Sara's mother.
Yes, it started on the first day of school. That's why I've been crying.
Says Sara.
By who? I will call their mothers and the school and the superintendent.
Sara's mother yells.
Mother, I don't want to make a big deal out of this. Please don't worry about it.
Sara pleads.
Sara, this won't stop unless you do something about it. People need to learn this is wrong. Do you want the bullying to continue?
Sara finally realizes her mother is right and says,
Okay.
Sara and her mother are sitting in Mrs. Crombus's classroom, waiting for her to bring Regina in. Regina and Mrs. Crombus walk in. Regina looks a bit scared compared to her usual overconfident self.
Regina, do you have something to say to Sara?
Asked Mrs. Crombus. Yes. I am really, really, really sorry for hurting you. I didn't think about my actions, and it will never happen again.
Do you accept her apology?
Asked Mrs. Crombus.
Yes, I accept your apology,
Says Sara, looking up at Regina.
Good, now this can all be over,
Says Sara's mother. Regina leaves the room, leaving Sara with her mother and Mrs. Crombus.
I hope you'll be monitoring Regina from now on,
Says Sara's mother.
Yes, she'll be closely monitored to make sure she's not doing this to Sara or anyone else anymore.
Sara went to school the next day happy, but somewhat fearful that she still might get bullied. That day at recess, a few boys came up to her and asked her to play. Do you want to play with us? One boy asked, smiling.
Sure.
Sara said hesitantly. Okay, come on, the boy said, waving to her and his other friends. For the rest of the school year, Sara had so much fun with her new friends and never worried about being bullied ever again.